It's not just on him, no.
No.
But he needs to be a piece of this puzzle that falls into place, otherwise he'll never get the full picture.
When we did check the scoreboard right towards the end of Mirage, he was around that 5 frag mark. And you don't have to be a genius to work out just how difficult it can be to actually just get 5 frags. Having a tough one. Epsilon getting under his skin. And look at this information play. Aggressive use with a flashbang. Unfortunately, no shot. A double flash. Somebody hit the shot. Barbar finally does strike. And he'll be out of there. And look at this. They just are traveling packs. Epsilon again. Bit of aggression from one direction. Immediately Freddy's there to try and get the second.
Epsilon, the house of wolves so far. Barbar desperate for one of these shots to land, and it's just one of those moments where nothing's going to hit. And he knows it as well. He gets dinged down, Red Snake. Already making up for a little bit of that. A little bit of an underperformance in the last map. Maybe he wants to get things off to a better start. Maybe a heel spotted there. Smooya might have caught a glimpse. So the call will be made.
And this timing could work out perfectly if he gets it just before they turn the corner. Should they pause for a second? That's heads turned. And there's the timing. There's the frag.
There's
and
the bomb.
bomb.
Alex, this could be a disaster, but Trials recovers. He keeps things going, but now there's a man hidden, waiting, but they've read this well. They've got the plan in mind. They know what the situation is, so they're going to head back down towards B. Bomb plants come in. Both players have smokes, they have flashes. They've got everything they need.
Wow, you can see that there's a little bit of paranoia from Trials as well. You don't necessarily actually know where he is. Your assumption is correct that he was on the other side, but still a smoke to be planted within just to ensure survival. Or at least, in the very least, getting that bomb down. So now pressure on Maeve, and I don't even get to finish my sentence before they finish the round. Good, solid work from... I think Trials is the main player to highlight there. Had he not traded onto Smooya, bomb is loose. Scary player with mad aim, has eyes on where you have to cross. Yep. It becomes a different round. But great work from Trials there.
And this is the thing, for Infused, they need to humble Epsilon. They need to make Epsilon play, I hate to say it, but a more standard game. If they keep running their kind of own strats and they're just aggressive throughout the map, it's very hard to play a strategic game against that.
Sure.
So you need to put them almost in their place, remind them that, hey, you don't get to treat us like this, you don't get to push us around. We'll punish you for that. So they need to do that for at least another couple of rounds, and then they can start playing their own game plan. Until that point, you've just got to tame Epsilon. And so far, this round is far more passive from them.
Okay. And this is what Inferno can be. The sounds of running water and birdsong, and the occasional terrorist boot. That's it. Red Snake does take a quick jump for information here on the T side, as they take a walk down the promenade with their knives out to run faster. That's how this works, and the nades are going to start raining in. Now, whether or not they choose to commit on this is a question in itself.
You can see Cosmian wants information no matter what's happening, so he's going to push further forward than the others. Smoke's still obscuring their view, unable to get the full picture, but Cosmian's got a good idea. This is but a ruse, a bit of a fake, a bit of a way to get people's attention more than anything, and try and pull an additional player to the wrong bomb site. But Epsilon aren't falling for that for now. That's a shot. Barbar makes that deagle. Sing, and no more to be found for Smooya, though. Barbar now put on notice. His back now open. He's worried. He's cautious. He's scared. Infused, they're on the way.
Oh, and Barbar doesn't get to do the same thing twice. One bullet, but this time into the shoulder blade. Trials down to 57. Now Freddy looks to strike, and what a strike it is. The hard work from Barbar is finished off by Freddy. Suddenly, 3v3. No Kevlar for two of them. Freddy's the man with just a little bit more survivability to him. And here they go. One flashbang to keep them at bay, but that's not really the main port of call. Instead, it's going to be frags. It's going to be crosshairs on heads, and it's going to be great work from Fry, and they're going to continue to replicate that. It should be two. MCK's got the rest of Cosmian, and now Freddy, cowering in apartments, is just going to go ahead and try and keep hold of what little investment he had made into that round, and we have ourselves a second Infused. We talk about the challenge of getting three, converting the first three. Yep. They've done so with two.
And they've kept 3 players alive as well, at least. Now they have. All is safe. So they've kept those 2 rifles, the UMP, they've got the armor, they're in a good position with the bomb plant as well. And they dealt with a little bit of a threat. There was that little moment where, okay, you know, you had a bit of a shot coming through from Barbar, and that looked like, okay, that's a little scary. And then Smooya had that little swing out, he got put away. You put him in a box, you just, no, not this round, we don't want that. Freddie B has a moment, no more. They keep those last 3 alive and they handle it well. That's what you want to see, because otherwise, if Epsilon did more damage, they may have been tempted to get a little something going there. You've got the Deagle still out, you've still got P250s. There's still threats available. On the other side, you've got, what, a MAC-10, 2 UMPs, you've got plenty to play with here. Infused still have the upper hand. And
because of the absence of armor, they're rocking these SMGs. A MAC-10, 2 UMPs you can see on the Infused side of the screen. And in a dream world, they'll be getting the frags. More money for the rest of this game as they battle closer and closer to the magical 16. Early control of Banana, Lauren. That is kind of the name of Inferno, the name of the game as such. And once there's weapons, we get to see that battle for Banana, which sounds comical every time I say it. The battle for that potassium.
A valiant one, written to the history books, Alex.
Yeah, that's right.
Once more, unto the banana, dear friends, once more.
That sounds appealing. Anyway.
Very nice.
We are just a bunch of idiots. We should stop.
Yeah, you don't want to slip on that. Now, ooh, I'm going to be planted. 5 alive. Sadly, the kill's not coming in towards the SMGs. That's the real, I guess, icing on the cake, the additional money. But kills nonetheless, so Fry's fine with that. He might be just feeling confident off it as well, start feeling good about it. That's always a nice bonus too. That actually helps a lot certain players. Get that confidence going like, yeah, I'm feeling this game, starting to land my shots. So that might help him, but it's down to Cosmine and Maeve right now.
Maeve has not spent a penny. That is the starting pistol, that is an unarmored CT, but he does have the Inferno pin. It's not going to keep him safe.
No,
that's the end of that one. Aaron and Fry are going to be finishing off the round. And that's, you know, dream scenario. When everyone on the desk says, I want Infused to start strong, in their mind, it's this. A 3-0 start, kills with SMGs. If you win the bye, that is the strongest start you could possibly get.
Absolutely. That's, you know, picture perfect sort of stuff that you hope for. So for them, keep going through this motion. Don't let it slip away from you. Now, yeah, we have the MAC-10 being retained by Red Snake. Let's see where he utilizes this. He could be kind of the bait almost. He could be just put in towards top of Banana, try and get up there fast. No, he's hanging back. All right, I'll see what he does. I'm curious now. On the other side, a slightly weaker buy, but a buy that's good enough to put up a fight here.
Now, I know it's simply hypothetical, but there is an unarmored AWP. And a MAC-10 does, as we talked about, tear through unarmored opponents. Freddie B hasn't got a helmet. MAC-10 completely viable on the 2 of the 5 targets that stand for Epsilon. The rest will be scout work for Red Snake, as he's going to be bounding around corners, throwing off the nades. You see, starting to rain down on Cosmine and co. It's Maeve alongside him, who's going to be his duo in this one as they battle to weather the storm. Or at least what they think would be a storm. The nade suggests as such, but nothing to write home about just yet. Not yet. We'll be putting pen to paper instead. Infused pause, trying to draw out additional utility. A Molotov and a flash would be nice.
Seems as though the game's having a little bit of a moment there. The time's frozen, so hopefully we can find out what's going on with that. There it is, back underway. No problem, no harm, no foul. Didn't actually make much of a move here. They do build the way up Banana. Now, it was set up as a fake, and then the double fake. This is nice, because Epsilon haven't read this. It's a dry hit. That means they're just going to go in without those smokes, without that wall of utility put into play. That does mean there's a chance. Cosmine, Maeve now could do damage in a lovely combination. Oh, it's beautiful. Working off each other perfectly. Pulling attention left, striking right, and now the support's on the way. They can get a bomb plant, but look at the HP. It's dire for Infused.
3 letters, H-O-W. How? How does that happen? 2 players are given the responsibility of holding off a full T-side, not a single man gone down. They stroll in. Sure, you throw out a couple of flashbangs and that should delay them. But Infused just get completely messed up. I mean, the defense, CT have an advantage. The opponents have to come to you to an extent. Yes, of course, there's plenty of discussion to be had, blah, 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 blah. But 2v5, there is no way that they still have the advantage. And they just play perfect. Lovely work. Cosmine draws their attention. Barbar patiently waits, trusts his teammate. He doesn't feel like he needs to go wide, doesn't feel like he needs to help immediately. Trust that Cosmine will do the necessary damage, and he did. Still, we're getting hung up on one round, and talking of Cosmine, speak of the devil, he strikes again. This time it's Trials. We'll be taking a trip to the pit. And Smooya, in the meantime, does chime in with one into the brain of Aaron. 2 instrumental members of this Infused assault taken down before they get a chance to really think about this one. Still, looking at their positions, they're just lost in no man's land.
This is what I like the way you said that there. They haven't gained any ground really. They took No ground, they lost out on 2. So now they're kind of stuck, as said, in the middle of nowhere. They have no real easy step to either site. They have no information. So for them, how much can we achieve here? What do we have left to build something into this round? Smoke, nade, 2 flashes. So they can cut off one avenue and try and work as a collective towards another. CK getting a little... They look lost.
I think they're thinking about boosting. I think he's asking his teammate to boost him.
On the corner, maybe?
Yeah, here you go. Look, this is what they... Oh, come on, gentlemen. There we go. And now what he can do is just transfer onto this roof. And he's been spotted.
No one else is going to swing out on this, though, so he just knows one's here. That's it. That's all he knows. It's a very hard position to remove people from. Good flash, and oh, this is not looking good for Infused. They need to land these shots and fast. Barbar already going to find one. Smooya now readies himself. Sniper rifle to hand. Play across this, but it's Freddy B on the side, and Fry the only one to do anything at this point. Smooya, thanks for helping out. Does eventually find him in the end, but all in all, it was a little flimsy on the hit in the end.
I think that was a team flash, you know. You said lovely flash. I'm almost certain that was a fail flash towards Pit.
I'm pretty sure I saw one more come through.
Oh, is there another CT? There was a CT one.
I think there was.
Okay, because that could have been a blazing error. We get to see this time from Barbar's perspective as he did line. Wait,
yeah,
this is the corner.
Smooya just flashed,
that was
and you
it.
saw it come through there.
Okay. And look at this buy. Previously, we've seen, you know, UMPs, and we talked about MAC-10s as well, what they can do versus the unarmored opponents, but we are starting to see a shotgun brought out by Freddy B. We talked about respect, Lauren. Many people have sung about said word.
Thank God, because I couldn't spell it, Alex.
And this is where you start questioning the presence of it. It is viable. I mean, it's close fights. Balcony, you can hold it down and mow him down, and this, oh my lord.
We're going to find out how viable this is, Alex. If they go through this, Freddy is on the other side.
Oh my God!
He turns the flash. Oh, he gets overwhelmed. Aaron's broken through, and Smooya's just seeing the bodies hit the floor. It's raining men. And he might just be saying hallelujah at this point. A lovely shot to finish off with, but an easier round for him to handle. But that shotgun didn't get off the ground.
Not by any stretch of the imagination. He outplayed himself. At that point in time, you're so close to the action that you're, like, flash or no flash, you're just going to start pulling left. Like, you know, pulling left click. You're just going to start clicking. Fortunately, his teammates do save the day. You can see Smooya. He had an AWP, but the pistol much better suited to fights like that, and no armor means he could just shred through them with restrained fire. Wasn't panicking, wasn't spamming it. Restrained, controlled, and brings home the equalizer. Now standing at 3 apiece as you see the pace starting to shift. Oh, this is going to get messy. Aaron won, but I'm worried about what Smooya is capable of. It's already 1. Infused down, just 2 men, and what is that, 106 points of health between them. The math just doesn't add up.
This is a little bit of a massacre, to say the least. The body's strewn across a banana, and there it is. The shutdown in the end, maybe a kind mercy for what was going on. But let's be honest about this. The pistol round looked good. The way they're approaching it looked good from Infused. I liked how they're playing, but it's hit the gun rounds, and suddenly, you know, the resistance is here. Epsilon are done. They're a little tired of Infused having their way, so you can see the events changing already here.
Yeah, this is very intimidating to watch Epsilon now. This is 4 consecutive rounds, and they don't really show any signs of stopping. They're doing different things as well. It's not rigid. I mean, we saw a rigid CT side earlier on in the broadcast. Week 4 of the Elite Series. Freddy B pays quite the heavy price for his frag on Fry, but it's enough. Backs away, safe and sound. The body down.
See the confidence from Epsilon to even be this close at this point. They know they're against pistols, and that's where you can get overwhelmed by them. You don't want to get to those close ranges where they can one-shot you, but Barbar's doing well to find Aaron. Keep those numbers favourable to the CT side, defending here as Infused try and work their way through the maze to get to that bomb plant. Barbar again chipping away now. Infused left with only 2.
You know, that shotgun buy may have suggested that there's a lack of respect, but the way Freddy's positioning and playing it, it's so clear. This is nothing more than their A game. Red Snake's going to punish Smooya's hunt, though. Just as I start to talk about it, you go running in, desperate to pick up the frag for yourself, but it's not going to be a heavy price to pay. 1 man falls, scavenging can go down, and another round on the board for Epsilon, who are starting to pick up steam. Like, they are shoveling coal into that hype train and starting to pick up momentum. Whether they have breaks, that's Infused decision.
It does get scary though. You need to find an answer to the gun round, and you haven't done enough damage to be able to get in their heads. We haven't seen that full execute. This is a really nice buy though. Fry on the AWP as well, a little bit of a new look. Hope that can cut a different figure for Infused into this, as they really do need that to get themselves a bit of a breath of fresh air here. It feels like it's been a bit of a smothering from Epsilon for quite a couple of rounds now.
Smoothing. Not my best word.
A smoothing?
A smoothing. Yeah. I like to make up verbs in my spare time. Still. That AWP from Smooya. We talk of the devil, and once again he strikes. Now does he strike twice?
In the same place? Does that happen?
Apparently it happened once, and poor guy. Double tags, you can see that. No vision for Maeve, but he still managed to profit from it, and dicing with death is going to be Fry. Takes down Barbar and gets away from it. Now, in eyes with Maeve for Epsilon. They have the numbers, and oh, his positioning could not be better. Back's turned. Had he not moved, that could have been so different, but just in the nick of time, as the smoke starts to fade, every player in their head has that counter for that smoke. You're going to get a feel for it as you play the thousands of hours that these players have. It's around that 15, 18 second mark. It starts to dissipate. Yep. And just as that happens, just before he is visible, Maeve repositions and has two players' backs turned as they emerge.
And this is a thing that you discuss, and I think that it's hard to quantify, so people don't often breach into it, but that feeling, right? You know, there is genuinely a feel to this game, and you can see when certain players start feeling it, right? Mm-hmm. You'll see when people get confident. They'll take fights that aren't necessarily favorable to them, yet they still win them. They start to read the game well. They start to get that kind of understanding, that weird, like, intuition almost. And that's simply just a player having those moments like, okay, I feel the situation, because they've been in that situation probably 1,000 times before. Right. You know, like when you're a kid, you go down to the football field, or you kick a ball against the wall. You eventually learn how it works. You eventually get it into your head when you do something enough, how everything responds, right? To these guys, they sit there and they do this time and time and time again until they get it right. Yeah. Now, in this timeout, that's not what they're discussing. That's just a completely different thing. This timeout is for them to get their heads back in the game, because they have been broken and beaten here. I haven't seen enough from them to warrant me being excited about this match yet. I need more from them, and they can deliver. We saw Mirage. We saw that first map. It was close. It was good. We saw some great CS. Where's that gone?
Picked up the first three, and as a response, Epsilon bashed 6 back in their face. They're even running on top of each other as they venture towards Banana. Beauty of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, is going to be put in. He's basically a lynch fan. Great flash. The high flash you just saw arc over the top forced him off the angle. He was trying to be the playmaker. He was trying to push aggressively towards middle, and that's allowed them to put the additional player towards B. But if he went down, that's the whole site open. And Barbar's overwhelmed. Nice positioning from him. I didn't really realize he had the double AWP. That's perfection from him. Now they've got information. Now they could pull a player back, but they don't.
3-2 split of their resources, and Barbar, he's seeing players, he's hearing players, and yet 3 CTs remain on B. This is sensational. Barbar catches another one. Some would say he didn't deserve it, but a flick of the wrist renders 2 players forced to watch as the rest try and pull together for a fourth. Trials is in a prime position.
This is good approach from Infused. You hit the brakes, you get yourself in a good position. You know that the CT, the defending side, want to play back in. You hit the brakes, you halt. You wait to see what moves they're going to make to try and play back through to it. And there it is. MCK finds Smooya. It's game back on now. Infused, they have 38 seconds, a 2v2, and every chance in the world now. Maeve and Freddy B have to stop it before it starts, but that's too late. The bomb's planted. And Fry's in a good position. He can be pivotal to this if he can get that AWP to somehow work.
So many nades, though. I mean, a Molotov, a smoke, a flashbang, and literally every nade in the spectrum of nades is present, and they're not going to be used perfectly. In fact, Trial's location, look at his peeking over the smoke. That is so very spicy. Another frag, this time into the head of Freddy. Maeve then forced to work on his own, and it's going to be Fry to shut that man down. Fry makes him die. 6-4, and we do get that fourth. The round Infused have been hunting for the past 6.
But now for me, it's can they string it together? We just saw a 3-2 approach that Epsilon hadn't really looked at before. They've been putting, vast majority of the time, 3 players on A. Now that round, they put 3 players towards B. So for me, it was a different approach just to try and keep Infused on their toes and hope that they maybe read the play correctly. They didn't, so we might see them go back to a different look. But again, the double AWPs come out. This looks like how they like to play it. But no, a switch up here. It's Barbar over by B. You still have Smooya over by A, but this time Freddy B's there with him. So a switch up, a difference. This could change things. But again, Infused, they've got that round now. They start to feel like it's possible. It all could just turn around here.
Look at Maeve's position. You can see him there. He was considering it. Just facing the wall in the smoke.
Yeah.
It's so devious. Flashbangs won't affect you. You can swing around. And look at that. Just lying in wait as that smoke does dissipate. Hanging with his mate. And hopefully the attack won't be late. 4 men of the 5 then are going to be committing towards this A site. By committing, never yet to try and get that bomb down, yes, but they are starting to surge up middle. It's going to be Barbar. Oh, a boost. It could be perfect. Eyes over the smoke. He at least got some information, and there's more. Oh, he locks on, but it's unable to connect. Receding now, but that will put Infused with a little bit more caution to their play.
Now, they're probably going to try and boost a player up or put a player on towards B that can be a bit of a linchpin, a bit of an anchor almost. You can see Infused hitting the brakes, see if there's going to be aggression everywhere else, and there was. Freddy B gets punished, but now they might be starting to get a bit of an idea, but they're down to 30 seconds here, Infused. They need to make their hit. Oh, that's lovely. MCK! Oh, Smooya fell for that one, hook, line, and sinker, but Barbar, can you deliver? No! Overrun, outnumbered, outgunned. They found something that worked here for Infused. It's a way back into this game.
That double wide peak is just beautiful. I'm trying to find words that are appropriate for the broadcast. I'll go with beautiful. By going wider, you're aware it's an angle that favors the AWP. That's not something you should be winning. They get the first shot. You have to make them miss. What do? You draw their attention one way, and there's a second to follow who hits that shot. MCK was the one to deliver. Had he missed it, God knows how badly that could have gone for Infused, but no. Shuts him down, and another round in the books for Infused. And by replicating that, you can see, look at that train of blue. You see in the center of the scoreboard, look at that. Just 6 rounds back-to-back from Epsilon, and by winning a second, suddenly Infused have just a little bit more stability.
Yeah, and it also puts the money in question now a little bit more for Epsilon. They've got a
One
bit,
more round.
yeah, they've got enough money left over. They could probably buy something relatively decent into this one just purely because they've retained those 2 weapons. That's really important to them. But this is where, you know, the pressure starts to really mount up. This is where you start to feel, oh, okay, is this where we start to, you know, be into trouble? But yeah, here's the buy. As I said, good utility, still have 1 AWP on Smooth, got the UMP on Barbar. But overall, that's fine. That's enough to play with. It's just, they need to find this answer now to Team Infused sort of approach. And Infused might switch up this round. This is the last kind of real go at it with the buy coming in. So if they're aware of the money, if I was Infused, I'd really vie for control on Banana. Because the one thing I haven't seen is Epsilon pushing all the way down. Faster pressure, and then kind of being able to rotate that early man.
Well, you asked for it. Epsilon deliver. Pushing down early. They even staggered their nades. Grenades they're typically thrown at the very start of the round. They pause, and 15 seconds later, they throw them. Trying to catch out Infused on their reads.
But they need to show patience as well. Now, they've got the double stack towards Apps, and that's fine. The Apartments has now got, what, Barbar and Smooya in there, I'm pretty sure, and that's okay. I don't mind it. Smooya's pushing up pretty far. And you can see that Infused are waiting for this. They want this to happen. So if they play back in now and they're not aware of what could have happened, that's their own fault. But again, a lot of pressure on Freddy B. If they just push up middle, no one's there to instantly swing on it if they smoke off quad on the short side.
Now, you saw in the eyes of Smooya there, that is not... Actually, looks like he's actually come back, so less exciting to be talking about. But, oh, Red Snake, lucky to be alive. 6 points of health. And as you can see, the CTs are still standing vigilant on B. It's almost like Epsilon are giving more credit to Infused. The bomb, however, is not coming with them to A. It's sitting, as you can see, by the very obvious bright red icon. It's still at T's
That could be a round loss. If they aren't there as a collective at this point, look at the time left. They've got 20 seconds. Now they need to commit, and they've had no early advance to any site. So someone like Cosmine can sit there and buy time. If Maeve just does a little damage, does a little something, they have to make this hit count right about now. The smokes come in. Red Snake goes first. He's the tasty bait. He's seen both. 10 seconds now. Oh, that's a shot. Fry's kept this with a real chance. Bomb goes in with the final second available. The spray of desperation comes out from Maeve, but no, nothing to connect. 2 players need to hold back the 3, or this is Infused back into this game.
And it could so easily have just been an error. Player error could cost them this round. We'll find out now, though. Aaron, whilst Flash finds one, Smooya on the hunt, and it goes completely untraded. The rest are doing what Epsilon do best. They're pushing together as a pair. And that pair is going to get cut down. Fry, he opened the bomb site, and it looks like he's going to close it. Aaron comes wide and Infused. Well, that is not the most beautiful round of Counter-Strike you'll ever see. Planting with 1 second to spare.
With no information
With no
on the site.
information about where any of the opposition, 4 players standing as you're doing so, by the way. There's 17 seconds left. You haven't got to a bomb site yet.
How much can go wrong there? How many times have we seen a deagle do enough to stop it? Let alone a team with rifles dug into these sites. Imagine there was 3 players on that bomb site.
Well, we saw what Cosmine did last time they did a 4-man B push. Perhaps by not necessarily knowing what they were doing themselves, neither did Epsilon. There you go. Yeah, I'd take a pause too. You can see a tactical timeout from Epsilon after conceding that one. Very hard to analyze that one. There isn't much to be said. Simply Fry. I think Fry hitting that shot, shutting down Cosmine. Admittedly, there was a Molotov forcing him out of position.
Yep.
His options were limited, and the use of their nades in the last minute were spectacular. But yeah, we'll move on. If you have just joined us, one more map to go. We're already kind of quite deep into the the first half of our second map here, Inferno, of the series. We saw Epsilon take the first, picking up the win on Mirage. 7 maps in the pool. These are the 2 that we got to through the veto process. A best of 2. Should you win both maps of the best of 2, you get the 3 points on the ladder. And that is where the magic happens. In terms of score results so far, Epsilon coming into this one saying that no team could beat us in a best of 3. Well, it turns out they can in best of 2s. Splitting series versus Reason and Method in both weeks 1 and 2. Finding their first 2-0 into week 3. Now, can they replicate that? They did it versus none other than Excel. Now they try and do it versus Infused, and Fry, he seems to have something to say. Admittedly, limited economy this time for Epsilon.
Got a couple of deagles up. I like this from Infused though. Using the mollies. Molotovs going to the corner, of course. To clear them out. They don't need to commit to it. They can allow that piece of utility, that bit of monetary investment to do it all for them. Perfect. MCK going to work his way up as well. And they've got banana control, but you can see how they split throughout the map. Players I like to look at a Red Snake in this situation, or maybe Trials, but you can see maybe they're kind of teetering with the idea of, oh, do I want to go on that? Do I want to try and make something happen? No, he falls off it. And I like what they're doing here in Infused. They defaulted throughout the map, quite passive too. And the only man who can change any of this is Barbar.
You can see this is unwinnable. Unlikely is an understatement, as he's currently... Oh no. He's staring at him. There's no way you stand a chance. Comical. A little bit of comic relief throughout this competitive game. And look at this. You rarely see that, Lauren. 5 men pushing around the corner at the same time. Make it 4 because Freddy's gone hunting. But that was quite rare.
But I like it. I like it in these rounds. Yeah, you're up for a risk of just all being like one-tapped by a P2 because you have something stupid that shouldn't happen, and it can. But it's so rare. At least you're always going to be trading. At least you're never going to let it get away from you. You don't get picked off individually. You don't let guns fall away without a trade.
The death squads. The cupcake death squads.
Cupcake death squads.
Yeah, that's what they were. They look cute and cuddly.
Nah.
But these boys are here to play, and they're looking for that 7th round. Freddy did grab himself an AK. The frag onto Red Snake gifted him a weapon for free coming into the next round, but doesn't look like his teammates are going to be as lucky. Or at least one of them. Aaron. That bomb explosion radius does go far. He's brought down to 9 points of health as he leaps into the corner in a desperation play. Still, 6-7. And it is time for another full buy round. These are always where the real excitement lies, for me at least. Getting to see Will Smooya and Fry clash. Will we get to see more from MCK as he's been rather resilient on that arch take. Even when they go in B, MCK seems to find himself somewhere up middle.
I do want to see more from that man. And I do put a lot of pressure on Smooya to do pretty well in this, because I think he can be an incredible talent. A lot of people will say arguably one of the best players in the UK currently. That's what you're looking at here, is that's the potential he has, but he's been a little muted in comparison to what I know he can do. Said earlier, he's pretty tired, traveling. He's feeling a little bit of the wane of it all. He's still a little newer to this than some of the veterans to it, but he's certainly got that potential that I want to see more of. But on the other side, you can see that even with Red Snake not quite on form, he's doing enough, right? This is a very good T-side from Infused.
And when you talk about wanting to see more, just seeing UK players being sold to international teams. It's not something that has necessarily been commonplace United Kingdom, and it looks like now it's going to be Cosmine, another man this time from Romania, finds one. Aaron down, and here comes the potential second. No! Limited aim. Crosshair wasn't quite where it should be. We talked about MCK and talked about his proficiency on the A-bomb side. This time it's B where he draws blood, and hang on a second. What's the plan here?
They've fallen off this. And they They haven't given like much of a indication they're going to site. There's still players on B.
In their defense, they didn't invest nades. I'd be getting my knickers in a twist had they invested
one smoke left.
their grenades.
So they're going to have to take the risk of one of these. They're going to have to leave either CT open or coils open, or I don't know. So for me, eyes on Trials, what he chooses, he's going CT. So they're going to leave open coils, which plays in Barbar. So now Barbar's the next danger man. He can take a swing. Maeve does get a kill, but there it is. That's the problem that happens when you have to pick and choose. And I know you're glad they had some of that utility, but a smoke can be the most valuable piece in your arsenal. If you don't have it, you end up in these situations.
Imagine another smoke, that double spray is locked out. You try through smoke and nothing connects. And this, my friends, is the power of the grenades in this game. Epsilon will win this one as time does elapse. MCK keeps hold of his weapon, so all good for him. But yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a round win, but it's certainly a much better shot at it.
Yeah.
Had they had just one more smoke for Maeve's position. You could see he was well aware that nades were going to be thrown. He was staring at the wall, worried about a flash in place of a smoke, but great work from the defensive side. And I think the Epsilon's B defense has kind of been the shining light of their CT side.
Yeah, the crossbows they've set up have been brilliant. Oh, hey, JW. Nice to see you again.
Doing it again. This is like, you don't see this every day. And get
ruined.
Whoa. The hunt for a word there as I lost my filter.
Yeah, I think I know what you're going to go for.
Because deaths like that for Trials, you just died where you don't die. That's where you're sitting. You're still in your mind.
That's gifted T territory.
No, yeah, right. You're in your mind. That's where you're like, okay, what should I do? Should I push traps? Shall I wait a bit? Like, you're still thinking how this round's going to go in your head. And Smooya just slaps that kind of scrapbook out your head and says, no.
You're not doing any of that.
You're going to watch this round from the sidelines. Knocked down to 4. As Infused have just the last round. This is the last of the first half of our second map within the best of 2. And the first half is coming to a close. One more round to attack for Infused before the tables turn, but MCK levels things out and not a single trade in sight.
No, Barbar now. He's going for this. Barbar, you madman! What is that?
Like a rabid dog.
Mad lad.
Two players left, just Maeve and Cosmine.
It's the B defense as well, though, Alex. These guys, they've proven a little tricky to handle.
Maeve and Cosmine sound like a sassy middle-aged comedy duo.
Can I be Cosmine?
I'll be Maeve.
Nice.
Can I have like a blue rinse? I don't know why you've got a blue rinse at 40, but it's just how I roll.
You're bubbly.
I am. I'm bubbly.
Oh.
Got a nice laugh. Hey, there it is. We're back into the action. You can see this round coming to a close as the gunshots will ring true for Infused. We do see the end just with a slight advantage. In fact, the slightest. 8-7 will be the first half just in favor of Infused. It's now their turn to defend.
The recovery, though, was actually quite impressive. They had a bit of a shaky kind of...
6 rounds in a row.
Yeah, they have the pistol in there as well. They've had certain pieces working for them, which was quite impressive for Infused. But the fact is that when it came to the gun rounds, it started looking like, okay, well, here's your winners, right? The Epsilon side take strides, take bounds towards the end of the game. But no, that was a great recovery from Infused, showing some real resilience to actually a very hard-to-handle team. Let's be honest, it's frustrating playing against these guys when they get confident, but they got put back in their place, and Infused now give themselves a shot to come back in the second half and really run away with the game.
Epsilon are one of just 2 teams that already hold 2 series draws. They're trying to break that curse. Just 1 win under their belt. Them and Method just can't seem to stop splitting series, and this is another opportunity for Infused to kind of add a third to that tally. 8 teams competing, just 2 stand on that. And now it's looking like Infused have a chance to split again.
Yeah, and it's a chance for Epsilon to push themselves into the top 2 position more than anything as well. And then for Infused, they can, oh my word, Fry!
It's a hard, bitter pill to swallow. You see them first, you take the first shot, and yet you still find yourself watching the rest of the round without a mouse and keyboard in your hands.
And I actually like the way that Infused have approached this now. They put the 2 players remaining on the A site towards the arch. And that's just proving because it allows you to rotate as well. Like, you're not just locked towards A site, and you can deny the play around the back. So Barbar can't go on that sneaky little route through the defending side spawn. That's a nice little touch, but it does leave you vulnerable, of course. It is going to be a B hit, so they have a quicker rotate here, so it might be more viable to actually play retake or hinder this hit. Barbar is being a nuisance. That's his job right now.
I am feeling vulnerable as well, Lauren. Thanks for asking. Trials, though. Just going to be met by Maeve. The Glocks are starting to come in. This pistol has so many bullets and so much accuracy while moving that is exactly how it should be played. Epsilon are going to be starting to close this one out. MCK just forced to try and take a couple of heads with him. We'll be getting that game sound back in your ears in just a moment's time, as we do see Epsilon win that pistol round. Just one in either half. That's how you start them off. And now let's see if Epsilon could do what Infused did. In this very position, with this exact result from the pistol, they replicated it twice. We got a full 3-round start. It's Epsilon's task to do that, and a very, very different buy from both sides, look. An investment from Infused, a map that when talking to Freiburg, he said that this is one of the 2 maps he believes that second round force buy is viable on. And 5 AKs for Epsilon. We're going on an adventure, Lauren.
Yeah, the 5 rifles. You don't see this. Now, every death gets costly. This is the scary thing now. For Epsilon, you can't afford... Well, you don't want to lose a single player. And let's see if they can keep true to trend. They need that clean slate, and Aaron wants that deagle to connect so badly. But no matter how much he hopes, no matter how much he prays, it's just not coming through. And every step he takes back, Epsilon gets closer, and the site is theirs.
Wow, a stack and everything. They had the numbers. They even had the best arsenal they could have brought in, but Epsilon's buy is rewarded. They get that mid-range fights. Admittedly, SMGs could have thrived in similar scenarios with less of a financial risk, but the beauty of it is that they didn't lose any. They get the round, and they still have all of those AK-47s to play with. The typical buy you expect to see on the attacking side, at least for the riflers. And now, rinse and repeat. The buys could not be any more. In fact, take a picture of this if you want to start learning Counter-Strike. The left side and the right side could not be any further apart in terms of buy and the quality of it. Look at the top of your screens. $26,600.
Yeah. It's not so nice right now for Infused.
Epsilon have got their gold Rolexes on, pimping. MCK walking around with a wooden bowl asking for some more soup.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Back in your cave, boy. Just a bit of roleplay in between. You get everything here on these broadcasts.
Never miss out on a second of this action.
Absolutely not.
Nope. He's happy.
What I love about Neil is he just doesn't show his emotion on his face. You know, he's just stalwart.
Stoic in nature.
Yes. There's so much mystery about how he's feeling. I really want to kind of dig deeper. I wish he'd just give me just a little bit more.
And again, a disparity in purchases here just purely down to utility and the choice that they made. So obviously Trials there going for the Phalanx with a little bit more, so he's got the nade, double flash, smoke. What he has there is a decent amount. Oh, don't mess up the boost, just get on up there.
Gentlemen.
There we go. Made it count, and on the other side they got it all. They've got the Molotovs, they got smokes, they got flashes. They are sitting pretty, but they still need to land the shots. As much as CS may be a tactical genius of a game sometimes, it does come down to the basics, and this boost is very hard to handle. 2 players in the same place, you can't hit them both at the same time.
It's all about communication as well. MCK going too wide here. Wow, he gets away from Boiler, if not just for a moment, and now he leaves his teammate in the cold. But Aaron is just so damn good. When you talk about basics, you talk about Aaron. Crosshair on head. Freddy B and Barbar, 2 of the scary Swedes are falling. Red Snake doing what he couldn't on Mirage, picks up the frag. And now Maeve and Smooya are left to do what should be impossible. An opportunity is given though, a gap in the smoke. And Smooya uses it now to guise his movement. Positioning for a frag onto Trails. Or Trials. It's just going to be Maeve. Part of our middle-aged comedy duo. Not going to be happening instead. Nope, 10-9. And a roar once again. Aaron, all eyes on him. On your screen now, the player that's managed to keep that round alive. When MCK dies, Lauren, that could have just been a waterfall into the A site.
Absolutely. That could have all fallen apart. You know, you can't chase waterfalls.
But sometimes you do just need a bit of TLC.
There it is. MCK goes down, but Aaron holds strong. They could have bounded off that so easily.
Just what the doctor ordered. Suddenly, if 2 bodies drop on quad, you are planting and you're in after plants in the next 20 seconds. But it didn't happen. Aaron saves the day and keeps this close. 10-9. Inseparable, the 2 teams here, locking their horns in the second map of the best of 2.
Let's look at Epsilon, how they're taking this one through. Very aggressive from Maeve. Straight in towards Apps. He's quite alone here. But he's seeing how far he can push this, and he's actually gone incredibly far out. How's he gone this far? What is that for communication? But good trade from Smooya, but Fry and Aaron now put to task, put to pressure. Aaron pulls away from it, leaves it to Fry there. Now it becomes a little vulnerable. The flashes coming through thick and fast. The mollies burn, and the side becomes truly a danger zone.
Truly. Top gun there from Freddy. Just finds the head of Fry. Now then, Red Snake and Trials. Admittedly sound like arcade games, but both of them standing, trying to find their way into keeping these weapons in their hands. You can see they're just going to be sitting on the opposite end of the map. You look at the top left-hand side, you can see just how far away they are from the action. Their opportunity here is simply just have a chat, talk about what went wrong, and think about round 21, where they want to be preserving all of that investment. And his teammates, I don't know, can we bring up that scoreboard as these T's do scatter away? His teammates are going to be limited. Well, goodness me. Red Snake's on the goose egg, $0. And as this round does end, their loss bonus will be in its second phase, you can see. In fact, no, the first. So they did previously win the round. Doesn't get worse than that. You'll see 1,400 is deposited into Red Snake's account, and that's not going to get you much. And so, therefore, with his preserved rifle, he will have to keep that one going. Flower and Epsilon aren't far away from finishing this.
I'm curious if we've seen this man blink yet. Oh, there it is.
He's got beautiful blue eyes. Did you ever say something and then regret it instantly, Laura?
Absolutely not. I've never done that in my life before.
Yeah.
Lovely blue eyes. Trials waiting on the flash in here. Red Snake setting this one up, but it's all about timing and hit. Oh, it's awful. It could have been any worse. Smooya finds him back turn presenting himself, and Red Snake now, well, you've got a lot of work to do, but they're not going to just go on this yet. If they'd pushed that issue, if they pressured that point, it could have all fallen apart, but no, they'd take their time, they fall away from it. Epsilon, they want to make this hurt.
Yeah, this is just like pulling teeth. They lose one, and now they're just going to start falling. Are they, though? MCK does just take the one. It's Barbar down, but this is where you just have to kind of wonder, are we doing this again? And where did Red Snake's M4 go? Did he drop that to another man? Did he make that sacrifice from the save? And
I would if I was Red Snake. He's not
throw it to one of the scary ones. Aaron's having a game.
Oh, yeah, because it was the player on the corner who was about to be flashed in who had it.
Yeah. Can't believe I missed that. Excuse me.
How dare you? But yeah, a bit awkward on that front.
But look at this. Now, this isn't for nothing more than just salt in the wound. And we talked about the power of saving. They are on the hunt.
I'm wondering if Epsilon actually hid the rifle away as well.
I was thinking the same. No, Red Snake's going to grab it.
Okay.
But look at Freddy. I wouldn't put it past it. Oh, what a shot. Snaps onto Fry, and I feel like he's going to get another. Oh, wow. Rolls the dice, and it's a double. Because you can get doubles on dice, Lauren.
Two.
You know those doubles?
Oh, the doubles.
Oh, don't you just hate it when you roll a double
It's the worst.
on those dice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in Vegas, rolled a double.
Yeah?
Wouldn't believe it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
12-9, Infused. Starting to break under the pressure Epsilon is applying. And Barbar merely wants to make it hurt even more. Taking matters to his own hands. He's got the Mac-10 here. Playing himself in pretty much. And this makes money. This is what this thing's for. It just puts cash in your pocket the more kills you get. And now, player to the right. Just going to have to pay for this. MCK. Falling off it a little. And the rest, Epsilon looking over towards B as well. Miles there had a second to make something happen. Smooya finding target. And there's the moneymaker coming in.
Yeah. $600 in the back pocket of Barbar as they edge ever close to 216, and could have been a kill. Using just those pistols versus that head armor is nightmare territory. Nightmare fuel if you're a CS player. Get that dink sound and then you realize you've just got to do it again. Terrifying stuff. Not going to be able to do too much more with it. Two players conceding dinks, but nothing more to get excited about for them just yet. Anyone wondering what the man behind them is doing? The sixth man, if you will, he is the coach. And we'll be able to get that perspective of all 5 monitors, and during those tactical timeouts can chime in with his observations Perhaps even a page from their strategy book. But look how quick this is, Lauren. Epsilon, they are just storming towards Infused. Charles, he's not even going to get up on this boost with his weapon out before they're on the site. Panic starts to panic. Look at this. They have no idea where to put their nades and where to put their bodies. And already, Freddy knows where to put his bullets. No armor?
Nope. Yeah, this is not looking great. Epsilon turning the screws now. It's time to save. Infused, they don't have a step back into it. It's going to be 14-9. There's no way they can stop this round now. They have just kicked them while they're down. Overwhelmed and outplayed.
Are you messing with me when you say Trials didn't have armor?
I don't think he could afford it either, to be fair.
But he had an M4.
Yeah. Yeah, 200.
Yeah, did he have an M4? Am I tripping?
No, he had a...
He went for a glass cannon M4.
He's a mad lad.
I mean, the theory perhaps is he's on boost. So you can only see his... I'm not sure, but Infused,
yeah.
They're going to get something out of this. It's not nothing. Couple of frags onto Epsilon. And another one. Cosmine jumps into the meat grinder. Now these kills are nothing to get too excited about. Instead, it will just be a question of survival for these players. You can see Epsilon continuing the hunt, unfazed by their conceded losses. They've got money until the end of time now. 1,600, or rather 16,000 is the maximum amount of money you can accrue. And both of them, or two players, have kind of hit that mark. Still, 2 rounds to go to that magic 16, Lauren. And now we do have a 4 buy on either side, and happy to report all armors have been purchased.
Right, on the other side, oh, I love these flashbangs. Up and over. Smooya fighting on the angle with Fry there, but he's going to fall back a little bit to this, find a deeper angle, give up that control, but that's fine. They made a little bit of an earlier attempt into it, but is this going to be quicker? Let's see what Barbar may do at this point. It looks like Infused is just going to play deep on the sides, which means you don't get as much information. That's the only issue that happens. You kind of have to hope you're in the right place at the right time. There's going to be eyes on MTK. Aaron 2. In the end, Red Snake. These 3 have the weight of possibly the result of this game in their hands this round. The flash has come in, and here comes the hit. The timing could be worse for MCK. He backs off at the worst time. He does find cover for merely a second. Epsilon strike back and strike hard.
By falling off the balcony at that particular moment, his options were very limited. So vulnerable. If he wants to get eyes on sight, he is vulnerable to another player from balcony. And just victims of his decision there. Now then, looking to be boosted up. You can see Fry is going to jump on his teammate's head. Not realistic, I hear you, Decree. If you want competition, Counter-Strike is the place to go. And another round this time for Epsilon. They are looking to be finishing this one off. Nice, neat, and tidily. Tying a bow around it. And popping it under the tree for, you're not going to help me out here, are you, Lauren?
No.
No.
15-9. Do or die time. Epsilon backs. Not to the wall this time at all. They've had a pretty good sail of things. Once they got going here, we've seen the pace coming in, the quickening of it. Individuals starting to turn up, but Infused never looked like they were quite there.
It seems that Epsilon are the ones breaking the trend, really, bucking the trend, because not only did they have a good CT side, but they were also just storming through this T side. It seems like Infused just still can't find an answer. It's a discussion topic, I'm sure, for the desk, the absence of CT holds from almost every team. Yeah. And it seems like Infused are no different. We'll be sure to throw that one
Alex
towards Bent. But here, right, here it comes. Here comes the tide, and they're about to start crashing. It will be Fry who tries to be the rock, and nothing's going to happen. They were doing the flashbang dance, and now Aaron emerges through the smoke and is rendered completely useless. Barbar's Kalashnikov is the one to start singing. Cosmine is starting to strum a ditty of his own. And now Trials, what on earth can you do? It will be the answer, a resounding nothing. MCK then has the weight of his team and the result on his shoulders. The time shall be cut short. As now he stands. 4 players hunting him down. It's Cosmine again. 3K from him. And they've done it. Epsilon back-to-back, week-to-week. 2 zeros. 2 series. 2 success stories. And Epsilon, they took a while to get going, but they find their 4. Scary-looking team coming into the rest of the series.
Absolutely. There were shaky moments. There were moments that Infused did punish them. But overall, you felt the class, the overall ability, sat with the side on the other side of the stage. Epsilon, these guys look well-rounded. They've got individuals who can provide And we've seen it now in a couple of ways. A lot of what we saw on Mirage really got me excited. I love the approach there. I don't think we got to see them push to their limits, really, on Inferno, but I can imagine there's a lot to be seen down the line from these guys, and I can't wait to witness them on their journey here.